Record. I forget. I did a training a couple days ago with someone, and we went through the whole thing. And I wasn't until the end I realized I didn't hit record.
Recording.
Okay, good. Jorge's coming in here. So I think what I had talked about last time that I thought would be a good idea to discuss today was the buyer boxes or buyer presentations. And Michelle, do you remember if I said that? And do you have anything available that you can share?
I remember last week I sent you something but I felt like it was a little too much. There
Okay.
was like a checklist
Okay. Well, okay.
in it as an
So,
email.
okay. Vaguely, I get hundreds of
It's okay.
emails. Okay.
Yeah,
So
no, it's okay.
what I'm
So
gonna
I did have
do, okay. Um, I do have something that I want to show you. I will share my screen. Whoa, hang on. Oops. Share my screen. I'll just do it this way. So it's everything. Okay, so on the screen is what I have for clients. It's a client welcome packet. It could be for sellers, it could be for buyers. This one's I think mainly for buyers. And here's everything that you need to know about working with me. Something like this. And so Canva, I think Armida, I was asking you maybe when we first met, if you know about Canva or how to use Canva. There's two different options. You can pay for it or you can use the free version. The free version has a ton of templates and things you can use. It's about $12 a month if you pay for the subscription. I use it for everything. The subscription allows you to put your logo, brand colors, like you can really customize the things that you put in there. So maybe test, I definitely say try everything for free first before you start spending money anywhere. But just wanted to let you know that. So what I do is I go in and it's pretty easy. They have videos where you can learn how to create, and there's some things in there that I definitely don't know that need more time to watch and listen to. But what I really like about it is that you can customize and you could tweak what they have as a template and make it your own. So mine, I have several different colors in my palette for my own brand. I use a lot of yellow. I like the black and the cream mostly. I'll use red or green for highlighting. You can drag and drop pictures in. You can upload if you have your own. You can use their stock pictures if you want to. I have it's a nice to meet you. Here's a few things you need to know. This is a very short intro, and this is something that you can download as a PDF. You can download it or you can email it to your clients. You can print it out as a little booklet, a little brochure. That's always a nice thing to do. I have purchased brochures and mailers and postcards from Canva. It comes quick. It's on nice paper. It's relatively inexpensive compared to Staples. It's definitely better than Staples in my opinion, and pretty quick. So just ideas of options of how to put stuff together, because there's not really anything that's available really that says here's here's a packet or here's a brochure buyer here, here's what you need to know about real estate. There's never really been anything like that. Some brokerages do put something together. Some of the smaller boutique brokerages might have something like that. But the larger companies, us, a lot of the other bigger companies, they really don't. They have a lot of a la carte things that you can pick and pull and put together, which is awesome also. But what I like is it's kind of like when you go to the grocery store. I use the grocery store methodology a lot for a lot of different things because I feel like it's so pertinent. When you go to the grocery store, it has everything and anything you could possibly need to make a meal, whether it's for one person or thousands of people, everything's there. Not every person is going to like the same exact meal, right? So you're only going to shop for what you need when you need it. Same thing with buyers and sellers. You're only going to give them, maybe you'll have a core basic, couple, 5 or 6 pages of the same static information, but you might pick and pull from other areas and add to it when you're talking to a buyer, when you're talking to a seller, etc. So you want to be able to have, I think it's really important to either have packets in person on hand that you can hand over to somebody, or have it on a PDF that you can quickly email it off to somebody. Emailing it to somebody is a great way to gather their contact information, their phone number, their email. That way you can add them to your KV core. Handing them something is going to be, it's good to have some on hand, because remember, not everybody takes in information the same way. Some people are tactile. They need to feel and see the picture and touch, or see the data right then and there. Some are like, just give me the PDF. I just want to be able to flip through it when I can, but you're also taking a risk that they may not look at it, which that's okay. As long as you have their contact information, that's really what you wanted to begin with. And the trade-off with that is, if you give it to them in person, hopefully they gave you the right contact information when they came into the open house, or when you had the conversation with them, or however you met them. So you want to make sure of that. But what I like about these things, like this was a template I purchased, and I switched things around, added my own colors to it, some things to consider, my commitment to you. Here's 5 top things that they can consider, what I'll need from them. So not only do they get a commitment from me, I also want a commitment from my clients. I want them to be honest and truthful of their home desires and needs. I want them to obtain a lender pre-approval at the beginning of the real estate process. I want them to communicate any issues, questions, and concerns to me. Or, if I need to change this because it says you're a realtor, in a timely manner. Inform for sale by owners and other real estate agents at open houses that you're working with and being represented by me. That's a really key thing that it can't mention enough. When you're working with anybody, buyers or sellers, give them a stack of your cards and let them know whenever they go to open houses, because they're not going to call you up for every single house that they stop by. They could be going to Home Depot for an errand and see this house in the corner on the way there that they've just loved forever. And oh my gosh, there's an open house. I'm going to stop really quick. People do stuff like that. The last thing you want them to do is get so enamored by that home or the agent inside the home, and they just give them their information and let's write this offer up. Let me get my husband back over here, blah, blah, blah. Anything like that. You don't want that to happen. You need to train them and say, whenever you go to open houses, whenever you go to any, anything like that, you want to be able to give my card to the agent and let them know you're working with me. Because if you have questions, they're going to tell you, talk to your realtor, or I will definitely get in touch with your realtor. You always want to do that. You never, because otherwise they're going to take your clients. I mean, they might not. They might not. Let me rephrase that. They won't take your clients, but there's a good possibility. The possibility of them taking your clients is wide open. So you want to do everything you can to prevent that as much as possible. So I definitely let them know some things that I need from them. I need commitments from them as well. And so this one's short. It's only 7 pages. And it's just an intro. And at the very last page, it also says somewhere in here, oh, I forgot where I had it. Next up, oh, here it is. Next up, let's schedule a 15-minute appointment via phone or virtual office. And this is so that way I can go over that intake sheet with them. So the next thing is, you might say, well, what's an intake sheet? Well, Michelle and Jorge already know because they talk about it all the time. Oh wait, that's not it. That's not it. Where's my little intake sheet? Oh, I know where it is. Hang on. Intake sheet is down here. That's the seller intake. EXP's intake sheet is kind of nice because it is a buyer's questionnaire. And this is great because, where do you want to buy a property? Is there a specific part of the city or area that you're interested in? Yes or no? These questions help you identify and gather information on the client, and it helps you help them, right? And then it even asks, have you arranged financing yet? Some people already have a lender in their pocket. Some have an idea of what they're going to do for financing. So you want to get all the details you can about their financing, their pricing, the new home. Is it going to be, a single level, 2-story? Is it going to be multifamily? Is it going to be, whatever it is, a condo, a mobile home, etc. You want all of these details because these details are going to help you find the best property for them. And one of my favorite things to share with everybody, and it's always a good reminder, because sometimes we get so used to looking and searching for properties a particular way for our buyer that we forget there's other ways to find properties for buyers. Right now, inventory is really tight. So everyone who's a realtor is looking on the MLS. I can tell you all the buyers are looking on Zillow. So everybody knows what's out there. The thing about Zillow, and your buyers might have a slight edge on you, really, because Zillow, when you're looking at Zillow, unless you change the settings as a consumer, it's going to show you everything and anything under the sun, whether it's sold, whether it's pending, whether it's active, whether it's in foreclosure, whether it's potential foreclosure. It shows them everything. So that's why a lot of the times when a prospective buyer says, oh, hey, Jorge, I want to see 123 Banana Street, and you look it up and you're like, well, that's already pending. Well, they found it on Zillow and they didn't know it was pending, because if it shows it on there, it doesn't say it until it's really itty bitty on the pages that they don't care about. Or it'll be like, oh, that property is not even listed. How did you find that property? Oh, I found it on Zillow. Well, okay, so they might have a slight edge on some of the properties that are popping up versus us, because we as realtors tend to put our blinders on when we have our buyers criteria. But what we need to do is take those blinders off, because we'll just look for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in 9507 or in Watsonville. So, okay, let's take that away and let's look at properties that are maybe 2-bedroom plus, right? Maybe it's a 2-bedroom and an extra room that can be converted into a 3rd bedroom. Maybe it's not, and they say Watsonville, let's just do the 95076 zip code, because then that opens it up, because we know 95076 is Watsonville, Royal Oaks, Corralitos, and La Selva Beach. So if you only put the city of Watsonville, you're excluding some of the properties that could be available to them. Even everything I just shared right now is something you can share with potential buyers. If you shared that with them, that's going to help them realize, wow, this person knows a lot about real estate. I'm just thinking about 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and that's all I'm looking for in Zillow in Watsonville. I didn't know that there's other areas that are considered the 95076 zip code. So, there's different ways and nuances that you can help elevate yourself as a professional, but it can also add value to what you provide as a service to a potential buyer or seller. So, and that is, and it is helpful for a seller as well. So you have that. And then you have, once you're working with the buyer, we have the BRBC form. And then I have created this little, and again, through Canva, this buyer agreement form. This page, I think I'm going to put into that other little packet that I had, because this is really, although it's lengthy, it's 1 page, but there's a lot of little bullet points, whereas that other page only had like 6 points on there. But this tells you what my commitment is to you when I'm representing you, my buyer. And here's information leading into, right, the buyer loyalty agreement. This is also right here. How do I get paid? My payment is contingent upon your successful acquisition of a new home. While I strive to have the seller cover my real estate fees, it's ultimately the buyer's responsibility to compensate for the services provided by myself and my brokerage. If the seller does not cover the entire agreed upon fee, you will be responsible for the remaining balance. And then you can go into the conversation. How does that sound? Or are you okay with this? Or do you have any questions about this? Anything like that. And then you can give them that if they're agreeable to that, great, have them sign that, buyer agreement form right then and there. if this is and I have already shared this with a couple people, and I say tweak it, make it your own. You can use this exact. You could change the words up. If you want to change the words up, use Chat GPT and just say, make this more casual. Make this, I don't know if they can translate it, but you guys could probably translate it. Jorge might have translated it even, I think. I don't know. You might have, right? Did you translate it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Okay, good. And then you could change it up however you want. This is just a base of what you can do if you want to try and help you. I want to try and give resources to help everybody. And then one of the other things I wanted to show you was this here. I don't know when I found this, but I downloaded it. It's kind of, look at the old picture.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's old, right? But it's called the Perfect Buyer's Packet. And I love this because this has, I mean, even this would be a good thing to put on like your cover for your own packet or your own, however you want to put it together, your PDF. Home Buyer's Roadmap, Modern Buyer's Representation or Presentation, New Buyer Questionnaire, Real Estate Terminology, House Hunting Checklist, Critical Date Checklist. I like that. I always forget about the real estate terminology. And I really think, and this is why I say it's good to repeat things, because real estate terminology, I am so used to all of these, I don't even think or consider to share what the meanings are with prospects. A buyer might not know what an ARM is or an APR or HOA fees. I mean, they really might not, or a balloon mortgage. They might not know any of these things. So having the little glossary of terms, because if you think about it, the only other place where you're going to see a smidgen of glossary of terms is going to be in the purchase agreement. And we know that they don't really look at the purchase agreement unless you're going through it like you should, page by page with them. But more than likely, agents are just grabbing it, sending it via zip forms. Here, click sign. This is what you're signing, and not really going through it. So I love being able to offer them something that gives them an idea. And it's like, well, let me know if you have any questions about some of these words that are on here, because it might open up other questions. And that's good. You want your clients asking you a lot of questions. So it has 3 pages of terminology, which is wonderful. And so this one has the buyer questionnaire on here, and it's laid out different. And it is, general questions. Do you have kids? Where do you want to buy property? So things like this. If you know them and they don't have kids, obviously you're not going to ask them questions line for line if it's not applicable. But at the same time, some of these, maybe you have to consider being politically correct, because you can't just assume somebody has kids or not, right? That's kind of a sketchy question. Do you have children? It could be invasive. Like, why do you want to know? I just need to know if there's a specific, right here, a specific school or school district you prefer to live near. I think I would probably cross out, do you have kids, and just ask this question instead. So you can use your common sense. Whoops. You can use your common sense with some of the questions that are on here. That's why I like grabbing information from different places. And that's why I love Canva, because then I just throw everything that I really like in one space and then tweak it. And every time I think I'm done with a project in Canva, I find something else and it's like, oh, I need to add that, or oh, I need to move that. And then it's just a matter of doing it. But okay, so this has that intake sheet also. And then it has, this is kind of fun, a house hunting checklist. I like the layout of this. I think it looks great, right? The home, it makes it very visually easy to see versus that other document I just showed you. And this gives a thumbs up. This is a page for your client. You're going to give one to both spouses. The husband gets one and the wife gets one, because the wife might say, yes, thumbs up to the kitchen. Or maybe the husband says thumbs up to the kitchen, and maybe the wife says thumbs up to a garage and he's thumbs down. Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe she doesn't care about cooking. So why you want to give one to each one, or is because you want to be able to say, okay, great, let's take a look at these. okay, Armida, you say the most important thing in a house is the kitchen and the backyard. Okay, tell me more about that. Well, what are you doing in the kitchen in the backyard? Tell me your life on a weekend. What are you doing? You're going to say something like, oh, we do a lot of entertaining, or my family comes over, so we do a lot of cooking, and I want something from the kitchen that opens out. Okay, so you want it to be more of an extended living area. Okay, great. So that gives you a better idea of why that's important to Armida. Manuel might say, yeah, that's Armida's realm. I really don't care. I just want to have, a garage for all my tools. Okay. So let's say you find that 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that's got pretty much all the check marks, except there's no garage. Well, what if there's a shed in the backyard? Or what if the backyard is large enough for maybe he can build a garage, or maybe there is a big shed or some kind of space that he can use to put his tools. Could that work? Maybe it's a 2-bedroom with a bonus room that has the garage and an amazing kitchen. Something like that. So you have to start thinking outside of the box when it comes to your clients, but you also want to be able to get as many check mark boxes that you can on the property. So, but before you go looking, you still want to say, okay, Armida, okay, Manuel, can you live with? So maybe she wants a fireplace and maybe he wants a swimming pool. Okay, in Santa Cruz County, you're going to find more pools probably than you would in Monterey County, depending on where you're at in Monterey County. So if a pool is that important to you, tell me why. Tell me more about the significance of that, right? Is it going to kill the deal if we don't find one for you? Is it, you're going to die on this hill if you can't get it? You have to have that conversation ahead of time before you go showing the property, because what's gonna happen? You're gonna find everything that check marks the boxes, except if you didn't get that conversation in there with your clients and have them agree to what they're willing to concede from the beginning, then you're going to be showing them a lot of properties, a lot. So you want to make sure you get that, you know, tackled at the front end as much as possible.
Can I share real quick what I do, kind of like with this checklist?
Mhm.
Um, so when I'm going to show clients property, I prepare a packet for them. And it's going to be a packet of obviously the client summary or client information. I printed out the MLS for each home. And as we enter each home, I make them take notes
Mhm.
on that summary. Because if we're showing multiple homes, it's so easy to forget which home they liked out of all of them because they've seen so many homes. It could be overwhelming
Mhm.
for them. So I make sure before we leave the home that they've noted everything they want, and either this is a go or not gonna, they mark on there that this is not for them.
Right.
So that at the end of the tour, they they can we review all the papers, all the homes that we've seen, and then right there they decided because they've made notes.
Mm-hmm. Super helpful, especially because those MLS printout sheets for the clients have the
Yeah.
pictures of the house. So that's super helpful for them to remember. Oh yeah, that house, the blue house, or you start naming the houses, right? Or the flower house or whatever it is, you start naming them. And this page, why I like it, not only because it has the thumbs up and thumbs down, it also says this right here. Does this house make the short list? No, yes, maybe. But then what you're talking about, and this is what I would do, the five stars, I would always tell my clients exactly like Michelle with the printout of the MLS. Here, mark, 1 to 5, five being like a 5-star restaurant, right? You want to write an offer on this, or it's definitely on that short list, etc. Or if it's a 1, it's easy. Let's cross that sucker off the list. And then that also helps you define what you want to help your client buy. It helps them help you with finding the right property for them. The other thing this document has is a critical date checklist. So this is great because it helps you, but it also helps the client. We normally give them a copy of a calendar, or you can just print out some dates and just say, Here's when your contingency is up here, or here's when your earnest money is due. Here's when your contingency is up. Here's when your loan is approved. Here's when we're supposed to close title, etc. So you could do all that on a calendar and give it to them, or you can give them something like this. This also is super beneficial for you. Yours would have way more actions on it than your client would, but your client is also, you can pre-write in things for your client, get pre-approved, get, underwriting approved, get your financials to the lender, make sure you make time to go to the inspection, or etc. You have all these things, and then this keeps them on schedule, and it gives them a task, something to do. And especially when they're really busy, you're going to have those clients that are supremely busy and just CEOs or whatever, and they don't have time. This is going to help keep them on task. And you definitely want to have some kind of task list for yourself as well. And then I had a few more things I wanted to show you. Seller intake. 50 reasons why you're valuable. If you are having trouble to come up with ideas that I had on this page over here of why people should hire you, this is 50 reasons or ideas to help you get there. So I wanted to share that. And what else do I have on here? Seller intake. I think we did that one. Let's go back to this guy. Already shared that. Okay, and then this here is the single buyer broker agreement that EXP put together for everybody. This document, let's say you are talking at length, you're at a party or, family get together, or even at an open house, and you meet some people that want to see a house, or somehow you get in contact and somebody wants to go see a house that's open, or I saw it online. Is it available? Can we go see it? Oh yeah, definitely. I will definitely check on the availability to go look at that. But before I can show you that property, I need to go over this document with you. What is this document? Well, in this document, after July, everyone is going to need to be using this document, and everyone meaning all the realtors in general. So this document gets your feet wet, gets their feet wet with how you work as an agent representing buyers, and that you can't unlock the door to show them the house, even though you want to, unless they sign this. This just gets them for the first showing into that house. After that, you need to have that conversation for the buyer broker agreement for further showings, and hopefully you can get their exclusive relationship with them to just use you as their agent, but they don't have to. They can use 10 agents if they wanted to. But this one document will at least allow them to agree that if you open this door, they love the house, they want to write an offer with it, by them signing this, you will be the one representing them because you did open that door for them for that particular home. And if it's just a one-time thing, like, yeah, no, I just want you to open the door for me. Okay, I just need you to open this, and that's okay. If you decide not to buy the house, then there's no harm, no foul. We don't have a relationship or anything like that. But I just wanted you guys to be aware that EXP did create this for agents to use now, if you wanted to. Do you guys have any questions about any of this?
No, it's all good information.
Now, have you gotten into the MLS yet?
We've actually been working on that these last couple days.
Okay. Okay. Did you end up getting signed into a association?
That's what we're working
Oh,
on.
you're still working
So
on it. Okay.
yeah, so we're working on the Monterey one right now.
Oh, good. Nice, nice, nice. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we've been asking some questions regarding the if we were gonna do it as a domestic or not. So
Okay. Oh, you're still working on it. I was wondering. I figured since you didn't say anything, I will let me know when that happens. Okay.
no, so we actually got that barely finalized this week, the beginning of this week.
Okay. And you are going to be a
So,
domestic team?
yes.
Oh, good. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Because apparently we could do two. We could be the domestic, but we still can have a team underneath us, which is the other portion of it. But in between that, we could still save the cap on that.
Nice. Oh, good. Yeah, that's pretty important. I'm glad you were working with them and getting all those answers. And George, I was letting them know ahead of time before you came in that after this next transaction, you're going to be graduating out of the mentor program. I'm
Yes, I am. I was
Congratulations.
I don't want to
this
say I'm
last
sad.
one.
I'm super excited for you.
Thank you, thank you. No, this last one's it's been definitely testing my knowledge with all the forms.
Yeah,
Um,
it's good
but yeah,
though.
it's exciting.
Yeah.
It'll get better.
I'll still
So
stick around.
I'm really hoping it might be a tight thing because I saw that it's closing on the 1st of May, right? I
On the
think.
first. Mhm.
Well, if it closes sooner, please let me know. Because May 2nd, and this is why it might be tight. I think depending on when it closes on the 1st, you might not make it this go around. You might have to wait until June, but May 2nd is a mentee graduation. And there's like a little ceremony celebration. It's in workplace. There's a whole little thing about it. And I already asked them ahead of time because I thought this was going to close like this week. And they,
Yeah.
as soon as it closes, let us know because it's happening on the 2nd. So I said, okay. But yeah, let me know if it closes sooner or as soon as it does on the 1st. And then I'll see if
I'll
I
know
can get to
tomorrow
squeeze
for
you in
sure.
there.
Yeah, I'll know
Yeah, okay,
tomorrow for
good.
sure on this one.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. So I'm
They
super
should.
excited. Oh, but the other thing I didn't finish telling you was that I'm also offering to you, it won't be mandatory for you to come to these, but whenever and if you ever want to, you are absolutely welcome. These are always open door for mentees, even once they graduate out of the program. And like I was sharing, Michelle's not even a mentee and she's here every week. So I
Always need to
appreciate
keep
that.
it fresh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
thank
helpful.
you.
And yeah, no, George has been a
I'll
great.
definitely stick around. I
I
have
think.
yet to do a listing, so I have a lot to learn still.
Oh, awesome. Well, Michelle shares. She's got a listing and it's her first one.
I have
Oh,
a mobile home listing. Um, that's my very first mobile home listing, and yeah, I've been going back and forth to Christina with her experience and professionalism and expertise just to make sure I'm doing it right, because it is a different type of a transaction. There's different forms, and then yeah, so I'm excited. It's going to be on the market next week.
oh,
Super.
nice.
And where is it?
It's in Modesto,
Modesto.
senior community or active adult community. Sorry.
Okay. Awesome. Good, good, good. And then I think what I want to do also is so we started going down the path of the MLS and doing searches. I think what I want to do next week, and maybe whether or not Armida and Manuel, if you guys are in the MLS or not, like already practicing it by then or not, I think we'll focus on going in and I'll give an assignment to Michelle for sure, because I count on her every single week to be here. Maybe George, if you're around, we can have you guys go in and do searching for a property. And it'll be nice to see the different ways you guys come up with it. We'll have you guys look for a buyer property and then we'll have you do a search for a comp. That way, because there's many ways to do it. There's not one way to do it. I just like to open up the parameters as much as possible. So,
Mine's very different from yours. My
and
MO.
that actually is good though, because when we look at our MLS, we can get to yours through the side door. You go straight in your front door, and the only way I can go in is through the side door through some of these other ways. I think Paragon's the only way I could get in. And
Yeah.
Paragon is so weird looking to me. I ages ago I used to be able to get into Rapatoni but now it's weird. But it looks different. Search residential. It's just I'm used to looking and being in a certain format. So, but why this is good to know, so that Paragon is the MLS for the state of California. And this is where all those other entities, this is where all of these guys down here, Barry's, Base, Metro, Samfar, Sierra MLS, the MLS, SDM, San Diego, they all subscribe into Paragon. So we can see pretty much all of their data, but not all of it. But we can see a lot of their data if we go into those entities and see what properties are, because when I just go into a regular search here, and if I type in, I don't know, I don't even think I could do it this way. City, San Diego, it's going to show me what's active or single family. There's 472 matches. But I bet if I actually went into Paragon, it might show me a different number. So it just kind of depends. And that's going to be part of what we look at next week when we look at houses for buyers or sellers. Sound good?
Cool.
All right,
Yeah.
everybody. Thank you so much for your time today. And congratulations, Jorge.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions during the week. I'm available by my phone. Text me. Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Christina, Manuel here.
Oh, wait. If it ends, let's call each other. Go ahead.
Yeah, could we do that? Could we jump on a quick call?
Yeah.
Or I have a Teams app. I can send you a link. We can video chat that way too. But it's up to you. We can call or whatever.
Yeah.
Just so that we can run a few things by you. That's
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Actually,
Awesome.
yeah, we'll do that next. Right,
Okay, perfect.
all right. Talk soon.
Okay.
Bye,
Thanks, bye.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye.